And we are live. Hail chat. Hail chat. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. I think we got 5 people in the chat already. Hail Bud66. Try and mute that. If you're in the chat, say hey. So I know you're there. Appreciate you guys swinging by. We're going to be doing, as you can see on the board here, we're going to be doing a little live inking of The Superiors, my new book that just launched on Indiegogo. And, we want to get attention for my new book. So what's the best way to do that? Let's Draw Fighting Comicsgate's #1 superhero, multi-million dollar selling creation of the awesome Ethan Van Sciver. We've got Cyberfrog today, which Cyberfrog was a hell of a lot trickier to draw than I think I tried one time before, and I remember it being a little tricky. And I remember why. I remember why now. When I started drawing him again, his body shape is just really kind of wild. So let's see here. You have to bear with me. Hail Ruby Jade, thanks for showing up. Bud66, hail to the chat. And let's see if we can type and talk at the same time. Yeah, sort of. So it's been an awesome launch weekend. I'll talk a little bit about the launch and just kind of what goes into it. Yeah, my voice. Your voice sounds a little robot. Oh, great. Here, I bet you my microphone's kind of jacked up over here. Let's see if that makes a difference. All right. Hey, thanks, Randy. Thanks for letting me know. Does that sound any? Let me know if that sounds any better. Hopefully. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the other thing is like I've been on the pontificators now for over a year, so I usually do the Wednesday better. Awesome. I usually do the Wednesday show, but Art's usually running the show, so Art's the one that's usually like having the same troubles that I'm having right now. But that's the thing is you got to kind of push outside of your comfort zone, and I'm going to try and start streaming more, start doing more stuff like this, live drawing, just talking about what's going on in comics, pop culture. There's always a lot of stuff to talk about. Just seems like there's always stuff going on now, always new stuff to debate. But here, let's see. I said I was going to ink yesterday when I had Rob and Jimmy Reyes on, and I never did ink anything, so I'm making sure that I actually start inking something. I guess kind of watch, and I'll just kind of blather on as I'm inking. So I might not see the chat for a little bit just with I got the art pulled up, but can't look at both. So, but I'll pop back and forth to check the chat to see what's going on. But yeah, the launched on Friday at about 5 p.m. Here, this is the great thing with digital. I just leave that line. So boom, guess what? That line's gone. I used to ink traditional paper, pen, paper, ink, and God, it was just so stress inducing because I hated whiteout. I hated having to like go back and fix stuff. So now with digital, I love being able to just ink line. It's like it's changed my life. Yeah. So I always talk about that with like art and now Rob is at the pontificators, and it's kind of I love listening to those guys talk about all this kind of stuff because I mean like they're real super pros. Like they've been Marvel and DC for between the two of them 60 years probably. So hearing their stories and like, all their inking stuff behind the scenes is just always kind of a blast to listen to. And we did pontificators last night. I'm not sure if you guys were there. I think some of you guys were. And yeah, Rob Hunter had us all rolling. He was cracking us up definitely. So Yeah, yeah, it looks like everything's showing up on Inky there, so that's good. That's a good sign. Your voice goes in and out depending on the closer of the ring that you might need about instead of on a stand. Yeah, probably right. See if I just bring it out over here. Thanks for letting me know. There's no way for me to tell if I'm right now. This here, we're gonna put it right there. So it's gonna be right in front of me. Let me know if that works better, Randy. But yeah, yeah. So last night the pontificators, yeah, yeah, he had us. Rob had us going pretty good. He's a hilarious dude, and you guys haven't checked out Rob's book, Death Reader. I should put the link. Should put the link in the description so that you can see that too. But yeah, Death Raider is actually closing out today. So if you haven't checked out Death Raider by Rob Hunter, go do it now. Get on Indiegogo and back Rob's book. It is gorgeous. His artwork is amazing, and yeah, it's way underfunded. It should be. It just needs to get more attention, I think. And this is Rob's first campaign, so he's kind of figuring it out as he goes, as we all kind of do. It's a lot different once you kind of get into it and launch a campaign and you see the things that work and the things that don't work. So that's always a little tricky. Let's see. Pull up and pull this up in another window so I can look at both a little bit. Of course, now I can't find it. Yeah, it's. I think a lot of people like use two monitors, and that's probably when you're trying to do this. Oh, I didn't want to do that. But yeah, it's just need that. So trying to figure out how I can see the chat and draw at the same time. Rob's book does look badass. Yeah, yeah, Bob, it is pretty cool. Hail Hojo, thanks for swinging by. Okay, Randy says the mic, moving the mic might have helped. So, and my voice is a little rough this morning, anyways. I am not a morning person, but I wanted to make sure I started inking this early today because I like to have this done, inked, colored, and be able to promote it tomorrow. And hopefully, maybe Ethan will see it and kind of give me a shout out. That's would always be cool. And if you get Ethan's attention, it's always helpful because he's got a huge audience in Comicsgate. Comicsgate definitely listens when Ethan says something, so that's always a good thing. Ethan's actually been really good to me. He's like mentioned my books multiple times, especially like Blue Bombshell on his channel, which I mean is a huge help to a campaign when you're kind of a small guy like me. So just even little stuff like that is super appreciated. And like Yellow Flash has mentioned my Superiors book a few times this weekend. And again, Yellow Fat Flash is a big name with Comicsgate. He's got a huge following. And I mean, I super appreciate those guys mentioned in my book. It's like so much help for a campaign to get more eyes on it. Just the following that they have, and Comicsgate sees what they're talking about, and it's a massive help. So yeah, stuff like that is always helpful, and like all the retweets. I've got I think this is my first tweet that ever broke 100 likes, but like now it's at like 300 or something about the Superior. So that was really kind of cool for me because yeah, I'm usually excited if I get 30 likes on one of my tweets. So to get over 300, I think it's at now. I haven't looked this morning, but it was getting a ton of attention. So that's always a good thing for a campaign. You just it's that's part of the trick of running these campaigns is getting eyes on it, getting people to pay attention to it. Is that Cybertron? Cyber Frog is Ethan's character, copyrighted. So this is not going to be in the book or in the campaign. This is purely for fun. This is fan art. I probably should have made that clear right out of the gate. But yeah, this is going to be here. I'll scroll back so you guys can see it. But yeah, this is purely going to be for fan art. So something I can show around on Twitter for fun. And you know, uh, who doesn't like drawing Cyberfrog versus their characters? This is kind of part of the reason you get into comics is it's the old the Hulk versus the Thing, or Thor versus the Hulk, or who's stronger? Could Captain America really beat the Hulk, or could Spider Man? Is he fast enough or quick enough? And so this is just purely for fun as a fan of Cyberfrog and a fan of Ethan's work. So, and if it helps promote, superiors and gets a little bit more attention for superiors, all the better. Cool, nice fan art. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Yes. Yeah, my gray beard would fit probably well with Aaron Lefesky's show. So I don't know. We'll see it. We'll see if I can make that happen. Scotty Richards Studios. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for the congratulations. But I think we're right at 6,500 with like 80 some backers. Superiors is today. My hope was like opening weekend that we could, get 100 backers or close to it. So, depending on how today goes, and that's why I'm trying to get the word out and doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, if we could hit 100 backers today and hit, maybe close to 50,000, that's a fantastic opening weekend. So, super stoked. The way the campaign's going, the attention it's getting. Appreciate all you guys for showing up here. I just look and see. We got 7 people in the studio or in the chat already. So thank you guys for showing up and getting in here. It's early in the morning on a Sunday. I'm a little hungover from art show last night. I usually have a cocktail or two when I'm on the show, just gets me talking a little bit more. Otherwise, sometimes I just kind of sit there like a lump and don't say anything. So let's see here. Good time to make you stream. I'm gonna get her on this stream with people. Thanks, Ojo. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of creators out there. There's a lot of people watching what's going on with Comicsgate and with crowdfunding and everything. And like the best way to learn is to see what other people are doing and see what works. I've got some friends in the industry that like they're watching all the crowdfunding and watching Comicsgate intently, and like they're trying to figure out how we're doing it all. And I've got buddies and I'm like, I'll tell you how we're doing it, and yeah, there's a lot of guys that would like the freedom to be kind of doing what we're doing, and working for the big two, as awesome as it can be working on characters you grew up with, it's a job too, and there's downsides to every job. So I think they're kind of envious of some of the freedom we have of creating our own characters, writing our own stories, having our own IPs, and developing them. So I do hear that from a lot of people that you might not expect to hear it from. So it's kind of cool. See, this is what's going to happen though, is I'm going to talk and I'm not going to ink, and I'm going to actually try and get some real inking done today. So I'll keep just kind of rambling on and checking back with the chat periodically. But yeah, definitely, pipe up in the chat because I'm going to read what you guys are saying. You got questions, comments about what's going on. I'll talk a little bit more about the superior. Excuse me. Yeah, my voice is going to be great. I'll talk a little bit more about the superiors and the campaign and superiors. I think I talked about this a little bit. I've been working with superiors for probably the last 20 years in one form or the other. Like this is like I've known for drawing the hot chicks books like Blue Bombshell and Slave Girl, but those excuse me, sorry. Those really aren't my first love. My first love is this stuff. Like this is what I'd be doing all the time if I could. Um, so The Superior is kind of my oh, God. Okay, yeah, Rob's got some obligations. I was checking to see if Rob wanted to swing by, but yeah, he's got some stuff going on, which I can understand. It's Sunday. A lot of people got, Sunday is your day to finally chillax a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm home alone. The wife's on the road working, so I figured no better time than the present to like force myself to live stream, live ink, and have some fun with that. I figured I'm not really that interesting, so at least if I live ink and draw while I'm doing this, it might make it a little bit more interesting for people that want to see that. Now I'll show you another magical trick that I love about digital inking is like, oh, look at that. Look at all those blacks that are filled in 2 seconds. Whereas traditionally, you'd be sitting there with a brush and worrying about going over your lines. But nope, no, not with digital. Digital, you just got your paint bucket tool and you drop it in there, and boom, it is finished in no time flat. And God, it makes life easier. I'm going to show you another trick that I've been doing lately that makes cross hatching just a little bit more interesting. So there, I got the cross hatching done on his lower pec here. But then, if you want to give it just a little extra zing, go in with the eraser line and just drop out a little bit of this underneath, and you check it out in the distance. It just kind of gives it a little bit more pizzazz with that line dropped out. New contribution to Superior is awesome. You're in the chat and you just contributed. Thanks. Thank you. And if you're out there in the internet and not here, hopefully you'll swing by, check out some live drawing. So yeah, that was just video can do this. I want to see a retro book with authentic connection. Their ads. I thought about that too. We all remember those ads from our old comics growing up, and the Army Men, and some of the other stuff. It would be fun to do that, except then it's just taking away pages from the book. So I know Andy Smith does these great hostess, like the hostess cupcakes, and he did an ad for that in his First Man book, and it turned out so cool. I love that. It was really fun. Yep, and yeah, Superior. Like I said, I've been working on Superiors for 20 years, so I did long before Indiegogo even existed, I think, and before Comicsgate was a thing. I ran an original campaign for the Superiors, and did an earlier version of this book. And so I wanted to do more Superiors, and obviously when Comicsgate sprung up, a lot of people had never seen this work, so I wanted to make sure that everybody got the origin stories. And I wanted to do new stuff to add to the book. So that's kind of what is going on right now. Is anybody who missed out on the original Kickstarter for the book. This allows me to get them that story and the origins of Superiors, and then do more stuff. Because yeah, I want to do more Superiors. Like, this is just the start. I've already got plans for the next book. So, and the nice thing is that I have a lot of this stuff done already. So I'm not going to be probably in the van for very long because I'm able to get this book to the printer just because I've worked out so much of the stuff ahead of time. I'll be adding new stuff, but like I'll be doing that during the campaign. So I'm really hoping that by the time this campaign ends in 60 days, um, most of the new stuff is going to be done, and I'm going to be able to like just get the book sent out and shipped right away. And I probably won't go in demand for very long, if at all, just because I want to move on to this next Superiors book, and that if people miss out and I didn't do in demand, I can always offer a new version of issue 1 with the second campaign. So that's kind of the plan going forward. But yep, that's 0.0. Oh, that's awesome, Hojo. Way to go, man. Yeah, like that's the thing is, yeah, it takes a while to kind of build up a following, but um, between Twitter, Indiegogo, other social medias, like you can really get the word out about your book nowadays way more than you could even like 10 years ago. Like I remember I tried to use Facebook a lot, and like Facebook just for whatever reason Facebook didn't work as good for me. Like Twitter has been a game changer for being able to promote and just get more eyes on the book. So it's been really beneficial for me. And then having a community like Comicsgate has been huge because everybody is so great about like retweeting, and it's a real comic fan community. So like these are guys that love comics, are kind of all into the same stuff, are huge comic book fans. Kind of hate to see what's happened to comics, but aren't letting them stop it from enjoying comics as a hobby. It's just we moved on from Marvel and DC because basically the people running those companies have really just alienated the fans and let the fan base down, which is just a shame to see. But I mean, it's been happening for so long. It's just you kind of at a certain point you just kind of wash your hands of it and say there's other things I can spend my time on. And like Comicsgate has been just so much fun. I have such a great time hanging out and talking comics with everybody, and it's I always say this, it's like kind of an ongoing comic book convention, and you've got your table is your Twitter handle or your YouTube show or your Indiegogo page, and then you can sit like this. This isn't much different from me sitting at a table at a Comic Con on a weekend, and you guys swinging by my table, watching me sketch, and talking about comics, and me hyping up my book to you guys to see if you guys are interested. So there is a super similar aspect to just going to a comic convention. It's just we can do it way easier and don't have to take out all the money for a hotel room. We can just wake up and hop in front of our computer and basically have all the same fun that you have at a comic book convention. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any hot sci-fi celebrity babes swinging by. If I could swing that, my books would probably sell a hell of a lot more if I could pull that off. Or, Bo Katan or whoever Bo Katan is a pretty big deal right now, especially with what's going on in the world. And so I'm sure she's going to have a comic convention with us again. Uh, we had a YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, okay, great point. GJ Martinez, appreciate you swinging by, stopping in. Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't know I have a YouTube channel because I don't use it very often. With me in the change here, I'm gonna be trying to do more of this, more live having guests on and having other people come on and look at this too. So if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. I know that's what everybody says, so apparently that helps my channel be a little bit more relevant. I think I just did a show with Rob and Jimmy Reyes the other night, and 11 subscribers, which is awesome. So I think I'm at 170 now. So yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel because yeah, this is a little out of my comfort zone. I don't mind doing this and I do it more. It's just getting started. Might sound muffled, hard to understand. Let me know if that's the yeah. And that's the thing is I'm working the team side of this too, just because I can. Like I'm on Pontificators every Wednesday on IT's channel. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different animal when you're just hanging out in BS and not having to run the show. Usually I don't have too much trouble trouble with my mic, but then again, I'm usually not the only one talking, so I think it's probably a little bit more noticeable when I'm just doing all the talking. So let's see if we're gonna lower it down here. I don't. It, super, tight. Actually, I'll go and move over side of that a little bit. And what is the tricky part of this side of the drive? It's kind of so low and stuff. It's like we're live. So there's my cat Winston. Say hi, everybody. Say hi to Winston, everybody. Winston, say hi to everybody. Let's see. Yeah, that's not nothing, guys. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah. And I'm back. uh, Winston's been watching birds that morning, so I didn't think he'd come in here. All right. So yeah, let's pull out and see where we're at here. So, and then this is everything's on layers here. I pencil blue line underneath. So it's kind of cool. I don't see what I get so far. So yeah, with Cider Frog, um, I know those circular shoulder guards that he has, that metallic. The Ethan does that really reflective look in there. So I want to nail that because that's one of those things that's really key for the character. The way Ethan draws them, he does like that really cool reflection, but like reflecting on a curved surface is a really tricky thing to pull off. And you kind of, I'm probably gonna have to try and figure out a little bit of reference for it. So that'll be the thing. And I might just monkey on that later because I think I'm gonna probably have to take multiple attempts at it. But I'll drop the inks out here. And so here's the, you can see how messy it is. That's just the underneath sketching. So here's the pencils that I did. We've got Titan on the right here, Cyberfrog on the left, and I have a couple other superiors flying in with like a little city background back there. A couple more superiors under here looking up at the battle. I actually think I'm gonna get rid of the guy on the left because he's kind of so squashed there. And I think I'm gonna do this as a cover, so I'm gonna want some writing along the bottom. So I might just take that character right out of there just to open it up a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I do have a Cyberfrog reference pulled up here, so I'm trying to work on that right. And I keep the reference around because like Cyberfrog's got a ton of detail on him. He's an awesome looking character, but there's yeah, like Ethan's always been a very detail oriented artist, which I think is why a lot of us just love his stuff. Bro, this is sick. I love seeing Blue Line. Thanks, GJ. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure, when you're drawing somebody else's character, you want to make sure. I think you need to get Mike's. You want to make sure you get the character. You're probably not going to get it exactly, but you want to try and make sure you get it as close to what the original creator wanted as you possibly can. So, all right, Bub, 66 just back in 94. Oh, awesome, man. Strongbox and sketches. Thank you, Bub. Appreciate it, man. That is so awesome. Um, thanks a ton. I appreciate like you do this like I haven't done many YouTube channels, so you're not even sure anybody's gonna show up or gives a shit what you're doing. So it is super awesome that you guys are here this morning and checking this out and hanging out with me. Um, like I said, this is fun for me too. Like I love going to comic book conventions. I kind of haven't gone to any in a long time now, but like I think a lot of it is just because um, I'm doing this. Like I don't need to go to comic book conventions. That's what I'm doing. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go in and clean up this leg, the blue line underneath it a little bit. So that I can get the detail I want before I ink, especially with the line work that's gonna be on the musculature of Cyberfrog's leg here. Like, you see how Ethan does it, and he's got those, like, metallic highlights, and there's, like, a trick to doing those, like, dropping out lines and kinda having it, like, skip to each band with the metal armor that makes it just look cooler. So, I'm gonna quick put in some lines to work on that musculature. These muscles kind of coming out, and then the banded armor around each. So it's a little bit, like Colossus kind of always had that in his body. Any character with kind of like, like a cyber arm or something, it's kind of a common character design, but it's a cool design because it looks awesome. I mean, I always loved like the way John Byrne would draw Colossus's armor. I was like, gosh, I mean, he looked metal, it looked so cool. So, and Cyberfrog definitely has elements of that with his cybernetic limbs here. And then what you want to do is that highlight line around it, to give it that way more three-dimensional, curved, shiny feel. So this I wouldn't want to attempt to just go in and try and freehand ink this. That's why I go in with the blue line pencil and just kind of add a little bit more of a guideline. And this knee, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the reference on the knee. I need to do with that depth look there. And the calf too is gonna have like the same kind of shiny band. So there, well, that'll be the next thing we kind of tinker with is working on a little bit of Cyberfrog's leg here. But yeah, for me, I kind of like the layout is what is now 105? Oh, holy cow, Randy! Thanks for the update. 105 from 7K. Actually, since why don't I pull up the campaign and we'll give it a look here. Let me figure out how this. Let's see. Yeah, we can do that. Stop screen for a second. Here we go. All right. Yeah. There's all these extra buttons that I click. Okay, so I was at 65.25 with 85 backers. And let's take a look. Somebody drum roll, please. I don't have drums. So let's just hit update. All right. 68.95 with 87 backers. Thank you guys. Hail chat. Thanks to the guys in the chat. Thanks, Bub. That's awesome. Yeah, we're super close to 7,000 already, and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. I appreciate it. Oops, stop. Yeah, this is where I could be. I was just on Friday night on my launch night. I was on Michael Bancroft's channel, and you can tell when somebody's been doing this for a while because he just seamlessly moved it from screen to screen, and it was like, he totally knew what he was doing as opposed to what I'm doing here. There we go. That's sharing again. So 10K is approaching fast. I hope so. Yeah, that 10K would be fantastic. So yeah, it's been a great launch weekend. This is what you hope for. Like Wednesday, Thursday, like you get stressed out. You get so stressed out before you launch a campaign just because there's just the unknown. It's like just because your last campaign did good I mean, it's no guarantee that your next campaign is gonna be good, so and, like, the other thing is what my last 2 campaigns on my own were Blue Bombshell and, Slave Girl from Planet X, and, you know, the way I draw those girls certainly helped me sell the book, so I was like, "Alright, this is gonna be straightforward superheroes. I'm not gonna be, like, using, you know, cheesecake babes as a crutch to sell these books, so, you know, what's it gonna do?" But, yeah, it's been a great launch, people seem super excited about the superhero stuff, and there isn't a ton of superhero stuff in Comicsgate, you know, like, everybody's kinda doing, like, their own, you know, characters, but there's not just, like, I know there are guys doing superhero books, so I'm not saying that at all, but I'm always kinda surprised that there isn't a little bit more, so my love of superheroes and this kind of material definitely made me want to be able to do this book. So yeah, it's been a great launch weekend, and just really stoked at the way it's all turned out. So we'll get back to a little bit of Cyber Frog's legs here, and I won't make any frog leg jokes because I just won't. But yeah, again, you want those. I don't know if you not rivets, the line work that creates the illusion of that armor plating on his leg. And here's another nice thing to do here that's kind of get that highlighted line going here. And this is kind of like again, I was talking about John Byrne and Colossus earlier, and like to me, that's kind of he kind of perfected. Well, and also Bob Layton on Iron Man's armor. He, Bob Layton's were that's like the classic armor look to me is what Bob Layton would do on that. So like what I'm doing here is, you know, stuff that I remember like John Byrne and Bob Layton doing like, you know, 50 years ago, like in the 70s on Colossus and on Iron Man and that armor. But like it's just that classic look, you know. And Cyberfrog has that to him. He's got that classic, unique look that's so cool. So that's kind of where I see like that armor look. You kind of get that influence of characters that you've known for years. And there's another thing to help kind of make it look cool. You drop out these center lines in the armored bands, and it just kind of gives it just a nicer look. I want this to pop out a little further. And again, I'll preach on this and talk about this forever. Is I don't think I could go back to working regular pen and paper just because the ability to erase ink lines, it speeds things up. It takes so much time and makes it less stressful. And when you're doing like an entire book on your own, time is a huge factor. So to be able to go in and drop those lines out, take so yeah, there's that kind of armored line that you want with the highlights on there. Yeah, it's kind of fun to work on these characters that you kind of have known so well and have a huge fan base. It's kind of what you always did as like a comic book fan growing up. Is like you had your heroes that you created in your head, and it's like, oh, what if they fought Superman, or what if they fought the Hulk, or what if they fought Cyberfrog? So that was kind of my thinking in going into this pinup. Oh, John Bry is subscribed to my channel. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Again, I'll just say, yeah, my channel is kind of small but growing, and I plan on doing more with it. So if you're in the chat now and haven't subscribed, please definitely subscribe to the channel. And again, if you can hit the like button, the little I know about YouTube, apparently that helps a lot with your channel. So That would be awesome. Yeah, got Spider-Man on TV in the background here. Doc Ock just showed up, so I love that I can spend most weekends dry and just turn on the TV, and more than likely, there's gonna be a superhero movie on that I can just tune into and watch. That's, 20, 30 years ago, I would have never thought that, like, I'd have to, like, choose between which channel and which, superhero movie I wanted to watch because there's so many of them on cable every weekend. It's a nice problem to have. So, yeah, the abundance and popularity of the superhero movie over the last 15 years is just kinda mind-boggling to me. It's, it's crazy, but I don't complain about it because I'm a huge fan of all the Marvel movies and, all the superhero movies, really. I mean, some are better than others, obviously, but yeah, I, definitely enjoy them. Marvel DC is killing the superhero genre, whether on the source or in print. Superheroes my jam always has been. That's why this definitely caught my interest. Thanks, GJ. I'm gonna say JG a couple of times, but I'll try to fix it and say GJ. Yeah, yeah. Hail Randy. So, yeah, let's see. We've got 10 people in the chat, man. That is awesome. Like, that is great for me. Again, not a big channel, so I'm trying to build it up here. And this I did a few shows last year, but to try to stick with it better and do shows a little bit more regular, a little bit more often. Yeah, back to Cyber Frog's legs. Someone's really sticking here. Yeah, when you're inking armor again like this, yeah, this is my trick of, creating that highlighted line, and, yeah, I'll bang on Colossus and, John Byrne's Colossus and, Clayton's, Iron Man. It just, like, we created that look that just gave that metal the shine that just made it look so cool. So trying to replicate that a little bit. I mean, the reference that I got, like, Ethan totally pulls that off, but I mean, that like, the shimmer and that shine on that cybernetic armored leg looks just sweet, so I'm trying to do something along those lines with it. Yeah, this is inking. This is kinda what it's all about. You sit here and you just kinda break down the page and go through piece by piece, and it's meticulous work, but, yeah, you just kinda zone out, and, the next thing you know, 6 hours have gone by and you've got half a page inked. Hopefully. Hopefully more than that. Hopefully you're a little faster than that. You kinda have to be. But yeah, it's a lot of sitting at your desk and, just drawing for hours and hours, which, yeah, I've been doing, the better part of my life, so it kinda comes in second nature, really. I'd probably be in better shape if I had a job that was a little bit more active. The side effect of sitting and drawing nonstop is and I know some people still find time to stay active and stay in good shape, but yeah, I'm not one of those guys, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah, out here, and that's a good thing to do. Is always like when you get with this, you get way in close, and it's always good to just pull back and kinda give it a look at what you're doing to make sure you're getting the look you want from far because what sometimes when you zoom in too close, you kinda lose sight of what your original plan was and you get a little farther away from it, so it's always good to pull back the camera, especially with digital. Obviously, if you're inking on paper, you're kinda always you're with your head moving, you're always kinda in and out looking at the page, and then bringing that up, and I'm sure that sounds really good. So I cheated a little bit and I inked Cyberfry's whole head yesterday just because I wanted to make sure that I nailed that. So yeah, I got that already done. I got his whole outer body done too. Another thing I'll show you because I think I'm probably gonna color this myself later on if I can get it inked today. But another fun thing is this is let's see, a nice thing with Clip Studios, and these aren't going to be, these are just colors I'm grabbing quick. You won't see the final colors, but Clip Studios, you can just drop in with the line work, which speeds up. Flatting is one of the, inking's monotonous, and flatting colors is like way. So right here, you can see the color dropped out. You know what I did was when I was inking, I clicked the button, didn't notice, and it switched the colors. So this is actually a white ink line when I meant for it to be a black ink line. So that we're gonna fix because that'll look weird otherwise. That's the other thing with layers is you click back and forth with layers, and boy, if you forget to click back to the right layer and start trying on the wrong layer, that can mess your stuff up big time. I've done that multiple times and cussed myself out for having to go back and have to fix all of that. The orange is kind of orange. Yeah, whatever. No, these aren't, like I said, these aren't going to be the final colors, but yeah, it just shows you how quick and easy you can like drop some color in to flat it out, and then you just keep that on a layer, and you can get rid of it and just bring it back when you need to. Some of the fun with digital inking, but let's see, we'll move on. I'm gonna just hop around here to different things just because for a while I want to just mess around with a different part of the page. So we're gonna ink Titan's face here because that's always a fun one. And get that to the color. So I'll make sure I'm on the right layer. Yep, that's the ink layer. So yeah, always double check what layer you're on. Okay, I'm used to JG now. Yeah, I met with GJ. That a lot of people hit you with the JG. That's kind of one of those things. Keep doing drawing streams. Eventually, you'll hit 1K subs. You get monetized. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going to try and do, Randy. Um, is do live drawings because I think people like watching people draw. Like when I'm at a con, um, I love watching the artists draw. Like I've gone to one of my favorite artists is Adam Hughes, and Adam Hughes he used to, I don't know if he does anymore, but he used to do a lot of live drawing right at his table, and he'd have his commission list, and it'd be filled up in 5 seconds, and then he would just sit and draw all those commissions at the table, and he'd have an audience of people sitting around and watching him draw, and I would just always be amazed at what Adam can do. He is such a talented artist. I've always been a massive Adam Hughes fan. So I got 11 people in the chat now. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you guys being here. And yep, I'm gonna keep mentioning this just because I want to. Yeah, I've already gained 4 subscribers today. At 174 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm gonna try and do this more often, try and do live drawing more often, and, try and build this channel up a little bit. It's like that's part of the thing is you've gotta be your own salesperson, you gotta be your own ad person. It's up to you when you're crowdfunding and you're kind of your own boss. Like it's up to you to get the word out. It's up to you to YouTube channels. I mean, it's a huge, huge way to you know get people to look at your product, get people to look at your book, and yeah, try and do a lot more of it. I know Malin kind of pounds that into every creator's head, and he's right. And I should have been doing this already, but it took me this long to get myself going. So I plan on doing this more regularly and probably, during the weekdays too, just especially when I'm inking like this, because I've already got like when I'm penciling, I'm thinking about, I'm erasing, I'm redoing stuff, I'm thinking about where I want characters to be, the placement and stuff. That's a lot more, it'd be hard to sit and talk and do that at the same time. Whereas inking is just a little bit, the line work's there, I'm just laying down inks on top of it, and it's a little bit easier to, sit and shoot the breeze while you're doing this. Inking is pretty relaxing. It's, just kinda sitting in there and putting the clean lines in over your sketches, over your rough pencils. So, yeah, I always find the inking pretty relaxing. Mhm. Those eyes and those eye bags right under Titan's eyes. That's some wrinkles, getting older. We all are. Yeah, like, I'm a huge, and you can probably tell by my art, I'm a huge Wildstorm fan. I'm a huge 90s comics fan. Jim Lee, Art Adams, Travis Charest, J. Scott Campbell, like, that was the be all end all for me. Like, I love those guys. I studied everything they did. So my art is definitely influenced by those guys, and huge fan of them to this day. So you might see some of that influence in my pencils and my inks, and that's what's totally awesome about getting to be on Art's channel. Is like Art's one of my heroes. Like I grew up trying to emulate the way Art inks, and now I get to like, do a YouTube channel with them and shoot the breeze and joke around. And I would have never guessed in a million years I'd get to do that. So like for me, that's a huge treat to just hang out with Art and pick his brain about comics and inking and all of this stuff, and then watch Art like totally kill it on Black and White, which has been a mega hit for him and is a hugely popular book and is just absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't checked out Art's Black and White, go do it right this second and go back it. Art was showing us that's way off. So I put this in the totally wrong place, but it happens sometimes you just slide it over there. But yeah, Art was showing us some preview pages of Black and White and that were colored, and they were absolutely epic and just utterly gorgeous. So, like, Art is putting his heart and soul into Black and White, and like every page he shows us, it shows that book is just going to be phenomenal when it comes out. So, I know he's like slaving over every page and making it like his, dream project because that's what you want to do. It's like so many times, like Art's been a pro forever, but he's working for Marvel or DC, and you just got to get the book done as fast as you can. Where with this now, Art can like sit and really just make it sing. It's the best book he's ever done, and he's absolutely doing that. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Black and White, go check it out. It is live. I think it's in demand, but it's still live. So you can still get Black and White on Indiegogo. So definitely go do that. Oh, the other thing I should mention, excuse me, dry voice. is with Superiors, unfortunately, you can't find it in the comic section on, Indiegogo right now, and you can't find it through the search engine either. A lot of people have been calling it shadow banned. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but I know it is not showing up there in searches and in the comic book section. So you really do need my direct link to find Superiors. I do have the link listed right below, the YouTube channel here. Superiors has launched a video. You can check it out right here, and the link is right there. So if you haven't checked out Superiors yet, definitely go do that. This is my launch weekend, and it's been going great. But I want everybody to give the campaign a look if they haven't yet. And yeah, but yeah, the shadow banning is unfortunate because I think it is kind of cutting into the number of people that would normally be seeing my campaign. Like usually on an opening weekend, they put your campaign right at the top of the comics section. And so anybody that's just browsing Indiegogo would see, the Superior sitting on the top of the comics section. And, if they haven't heard about it or aren't following me, they see it that way. So the fact that it isn't in the comic section and doesn't just show up for people to see easily like that on Indiegogo, there's no way that that's not cutting into how good my campaign could be doing right now. So that's really the unfortunate part of this launch weekend, even though it is still going great. And that's because of Comicsgate. Like basically, I would guess 99% of my backers are using the direct link to me on Twitter or they sign up to my mailing list. That's why mailing lists are so important. The signups for them are so important. Yeah, that's Comicsgate and this community is the reason that I'm doing good right now because you can see what Indiegogo can do to you. Like if you didn't have these avenues to get the word out about your project and you were just solely relying on Indiegogo, I would have launched my campaign. Nobody would have seen it. Nobody would have known about it. Just because of this reason, like for whatever reason, whether it's that they don't have enough staffing to keep up with, new launch books, which just doesn't make sense, or if it is actual shadow banning, regardless, whatever it is, my campaign would have totally been screwed. So that's why this community, the Comicsgate, and all of these hardcore comic book fans, that's why it matters so much to us as creators because like you guys are keeping my book afloat, keeping people knowing about it. Like when you guys retweet my stuff, it is such a huge help because like I've got an okay following on Twitter, but I think I'm at like 25, 2,600 people. I mean, obviously, there's bigger name guys with like 15, 20,000 followers on Twitter. So when anybody like that, a Yellow Flash retweeting my superiors is such a massive, massive help to me that I can't even like tell you what a difference that makes on a campaign like mine because the guy's built such a great following for himself because people are interested in what he's got to say. And to hear that he's a fan of what I'm doing and the kind of the look of my book and everything, that's just massive for somebody like me. So yeah, I can't thank him enough. But yeah, retweeting the books though is such a huge help. Like I said, I used to get excited when I'd get like 30 likes on one of my retweets or one of my posts on Twitter, and the one that Yellow Flash sent out, I think I have over 300 likes on it, and that's just people that I wouldn't have known about my book unless he had helped me get the word out like that. So yeah, I can't thank him enough, man. That's awesome. And that's all about the comics book community. That's how these guys are. Is like we love comics and we're all kind of into the same stuff. And it's an awesome fan base of like, people really helping each other out and it's like I don't know, it's just a ton of fun. It's cool to be part of and yeah, I'm always stoked when who doesn't like it when somebody likes what they've been working on, It's like the best compliment in the world is like, "Oh, you like my book? Awesome, man. I love hearing that." And see right there, while I was blathering on, I inked, Titan's face. So that is the inking on Titan's face. I haven't put his eyeballs in yet because I wanna I want him staring right at Cyberfrog's face, so I kinda have to, like, go back and forth and make sure the eyes are in the right place, but, yeah, this is kind of like, kind of a WildStar Mess style inking, you got those lines under your eyes and, the roughness of the face, your cheekbones, and that kind of rendering work, your lips and all that stuff around the chin. I'm definitely that's kind of my inking style that I've kind of absorbed through the years from looking at, artists like Jim Lee, inkers like, Art Thibert and Scott Williams, uh, Ad Art Adams, J. Scott Campbell, all those guys. That's kind of the guys that influence me a lot, so roll the panels back, and we'll pick something else to ink now. Um, finish the top of Cyberfrog's over there. I kinda left that behind, but here, let me peek in on the chat again and see. Let's see, shadow brand approach should show up on search immediately on the pages launch. Yeah, I wish that was happening. I have contacted customer service with Indiegogo, so we'll see how it goes from there. But you know, I've heard horror stories from other creators that have kind of dealt with similar things and haven't heard anything back. So I'm hoping they get back to me and we can get it squared away. But you know, it is what it is right now. You can give a yes spot. You know, King's Comic Kings is Ethan's show. Like everybody, invites who they want on, and like Ethan's got a ton of people that would love to be on Comic Kings. So if I get an invite, man, I'm gonna jump at the chance. But if I don't give an invite, I understand completely because Ethan got people pulling at him all the time because Ethan gets a ton of attention. I'm drawing Cyberfrog because Ethan gets so much attention, so it's not a mystery why I'm doing this. So I'm not gonna, like I said, if I get an invite, I'll obviously be stoked to take it. But Ethan has a ton of guys that want to be on that show, and I can understand if there isn't a spot for me right now. Maybe down the road it'll happen. If it doesn't, I love watching Comics Gate Kings, and I'm planning on buying some super chats on Monday night to spread the word about Superiors. So, and that's Ethan did like he put out a live link to people, and I was able to get on his show one time, and I'm trying to remember which book it was. I think it was Blue Bombshell. Sorry about my throat. And Ethan did pull up the Blue Bombshell page and went through it, and kind of laughed at the silliness I was doing. And I think I had the pin up with the Blue Bombshell's arch enemy, the tromboner, and yeah, he got a kick out of that. So, and that's the thing is like if you're funny, Ethan will figure it out and he'll have you on because I mean look at the guys he has on. He's got a lot of funny dudes on there. So I'm not overly worried about whether I get on or I don't because I understand how busy Ethan is. Like he just doesn't have time to pay attention to like everything that's going on out there. Like I run small campaigns I like minuscule compared to what he's doing, and I know how busy I am all the time with trying to keep all these balls in the air when I'm juggling them between drawing the books and shipping out the books. So I can't imagine how slammed Ethan is on a regular basis, how busy he is with how big his campaigns are. So that's kind of my answer to that. If I get invited, I'd love to be on. If I don't get invited, I understand because like Ethan's got a ton of people. Like you watch Comics Kings, there's 10, 11 people on there every show. And like it's a lot of big name guys. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's cool with me. Ethan does a ton to help out all the creators in Comics and everybody should be super appreciative of like all he does for Comics I know that I am. So yeah, we'll finish up this light here. We're going to be a little bit more. Probably going to go. Well, it's 11:30. I'll probably go a little bit longer and then grab some lunch. But this hasn't been perfect, especially with my throat cracking every 2 seconds. But this went pretty good, and I appreciate you guys for showing up and putting up with me. Oh, did I switch? What happened there? That wasn't one oh, that's what it was. Okay. I just erased instead of putting in another line. But yeah, this has went well. I'm gonna try and do a lot more of these and try and do it on a more regular basis because obviously, if you put out a regular show, then people are gonna show up more often than if you just do it sporadically and just once in a while. And I wanna get some consistency going down. I've even been thinking about, like, just doing, like, I do pontificators every Wednesday on Arts Channel, and we usually close around 9-ish, I think, or 10. Maybe it was 7 to 9 Central Time. And I'm thinking about doing, like, a post, um, pontificator show where I might draw a little bit and maybe one of the pontificator guys will come over and hang out or something. It is always nice to have, like, somebody in the show to talk to, and you're not just sitting there yourself the whole time yammering. But, yeah, these are some of the things I've been thinking about giving a try and trying to get just a more regular show on a regular basis. And the other thing is there's just a ton of competition out there. There's a ton of, like, really cool creators doing really cool shows, but you can't let that stop you. You just gotta kinda go for it, plug ahead, and the thing is people might not show up live, but they'll catch your show on the replay too, which, is just as good. You just want people to see your channel and what you're talking about, so the replay is equally as important as just doing the live show too. Mhm, mhm. Hmm, look through this leg here. Yeah, you see all the detail that Ethan puts in with his character's design, which is, it's what makes Cyberfrog look so cool, and the guy is such an awesome character. Yeah, it's pretty wicked. Some more highlights. You just kinda you noodle around, you put your spots here and there, and you just wanna kinda add a little something extra. Yeah, that's mostly what inking is just kinda noodling and noodling and noodling until it's like, "Oh, yeah, I kinda filled up the picture now. I put enough lines down." And, like, there's some people can get away with less lines and just kinda like Narwhal, we were talking about Narwhal last night and how, like, he draws really, um, minimal line work, but he does just such an amazing job, and he's, like, a really amazing storyteller visually. Like, his stuff, like, has, like, a cinematic aspect to it, but then if you go and study what he's doing, like, there's just such minimal line work to it, but he creates these just intense, um, scenes in his book, and I'm just always blown away when I look at his stuff and, what a unique, cool style it is that he's doing, so, yeah, there's all kinds of different styles. They're like, "Clint, you're really good on streams, easygoing and funny." "Oh, yeah." So, hey, I appreciate it, bub. Thank you. Phantasmagorical. Hey, Hail. Welcome to the chat. 12 people watching now. Thank you guys for showing up and checking this out. Um, I'll mention to everybody new who shows up. I've got a small channel, but I'm trying to build it up. So if you could click the subscribe button, and I'm going to be doing more shows more regularly. So if you wanted to subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic. And you can hit the like button. I got 12 likes and 12 people in the chat, so I appreciate that definitely, you guys. But yeah, just kind of having some fun drawing. Working on Cyberfrog here. I'll pull it back so we can kind of take a look, and we'll drop. Let's drop the blue line out, and you can see I kind of worked on the leg and some of Titan's torso and his face here. But yeah, I'm hoping to have this inked later today. I'm not going to live stream the whole inking because at a certain point, I'm just gonna ink way faster when I stop talking. That's just the way it goes, but I knew I was gonna be inking a little bit this morning, so I wanted to live stream it, and I want like I said, I wanna be doing more shows like this, so I think I'm gonna do this more regularly. But yeah, inking to me is, like, super relaxing because 'cause you got everything planned out in your pencils already, and then with the inking, it's just you sit through there and you pick and choose the spots, and you just kinda go in and doodle and do all the detail work, and, you don't have to think too much when you're painting, you can just kinda kick back and pick your spots and noodle around the details that you wanted. So, inking's a good Sunday morning activity when you kinda just wanna relax a little bit, but you still wanna get some work done and not just have a super lazy Sunday. Yeah, on my launch week, I didn't wanna be just sitting around on Sunday morning not doing anything. You wanna be promoting your book at all times, because you can't depend on anybody else. It's great when people do help you promote, but you can't count on that. You wanna be out there yourself, spreading the word, and then all the help that you get is just extra bonus helping along, so and I do appreciate everybody, who retweets my stuff, who shares it on different social media. It helps me get the word out. That is massive, massive help to me. So yeah, I definitely do appreciate all you guys who have been posting and retweeting my stuff out there. It really helps get the word out because I've got like the people following you aren't necessarily the same people that are following me. So you're getting the word out to a whole new audience of people that wouldn't have even heard about my book. So yeah, that's a massive, massive help for creators. So I definitely appreciate that. Finish that leg here. I didn't think I hit these. Yeah, I just kind of dropped that highlight line out between these divider lines on the armor plating, and it just kind of gives it more of that kind of shiny armor kind of look. Kind of thinking behind how I'm doing this line right here. You pull back, and you got there we go. We got all of Cyberfrog's thigh, that metallic kind of shimmery line work on his armor plating there. So that turned out well. It turned out good. So it was me on very three-dimensional curve. And I've got some Cyberfrog reference pulled up so that if I go back and see exactly how that knee is there, knee pad. So actually going to kick this line out because it's not quite that thick and it's a little bit more curved around his knee. Something a little bit more like that. Yeah, it's those little details, that make the difference. And, if the character looks how he's supposed to look, or, it's like paying attention to those little details really kind of makes the difference in whether you're getting the character right or he's going to look just a little bit off. And, when you're drawing somebody else's character, you want it to look the way it's supposed to. Otherwise, why are you even doing it? So you want the character to look the way that that creator of that character intended it. You kind of want to do it justice. Yeah, making sure that it hits the mark. It's kind of the devil's in the details. So you really want to kind of pay attention to details that they did on their character, especially when it's like as cool design as Cyberfrog. I mean, Cyberfrog is such a unique looking character. Like, with that fluidity in his arms and his giant fingers, and I know what I need to do is I need to make these knuckles need to be a little thicker, liner, because you don't want them just to blend into the background. These fingers kinda the way Ethan draws them, his fingers and his toes are always it's kind of almost like, an expression of the character. His fingers and his toes are always kinda jumping out of the panel, and it creates a lot of fluidity, a lot of action, a lot of, movement with the character, and Cyberfrog is this springy, cybernetic frog, so you want that kind of that fluidity and that motion is, like, kinda integral to the character, so, yeah, Cyberfrog's legs are always kinda springing out and, creating that action and movement, so you definitely wanna capture that when you're trying to draw Cyberfrog, 'cause it's part of the fun of the character. It's like Spider-Man and his webbing, like, when Spider-Man's swinging through the city, he's got his webbing going everywhere, especially the Todd McFarlane days, and that kinda became synonymous with the character, and, like, I kinda see that with, like, Cyberfrog's limbs and his fingers. You want him coming out, like, bold action at the reader, so I was trying to capture a little bit of that energy that Ethan puts into it when he draws them. A little bit thicker on these lines, I think. So, right there. There we go. Pull up the chat again. I do have Twitter. Yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, definitely do. It is at Clint Hilinski, just my name. I joined Twitter a long time ago before everybody was using all the fake names and pseudonyms and stuff. But yeah, I am at Clint Hilinski on Twitter. So if you're not following me, definitely follow me on Twitter. I post a ton of artwork on there, the stuff that I'm working on in Superiors and other things that I'm just kind of noodling around with. So already following me, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's right. I need a little bit of that. No, diet caffeine free Mountain Dew, so I need to jittery. Let's see. Staying on model. Yeah, yeah, that was one of the main things that I wanted to make sure of is staying on model with Cyberfrog. It's like Ethan has a way he wants Cyberfrog to look, and I want to make sure he does. These. It's another great tool to get these really nice curved lines without having to use a ruler or anything or any kind of tool. It's digital aspect. Uh, Clip Studios, yeah, having these ruled out curved lines just is a huge time saver, and just when you need to use that type of line work, huge time saver, and it just gives everything a great look. That smooth curved line, you can just mess around with it. Kind of give it just a little bit of depth there. So got that. Yeah, and the big thing I know is going to be I want to do the reflections on his kind of shoulder armor there. Like that is a big part of Cyberfrog. So that's the thing I'm gonna have to figure out this afternoon is how I want to kind of tackle that aspect of the character to make it look as good as I can. Yeah, having these really speeds up the process for doing that kind of line work there. So, and then, oh yeah, here we'll. So I definitely wanted to make sure that, like, Cyberfrog is beating the crap out of Titan when I drew this. You want Cyberfrog to win. Cyberfrog is a bigger character, so he's gonna be more powerful, but you want it to be a good battle. So I definitely wanted to make sure it looked like Titan is getting his ass handed to him, so I figured some tears in the costume is, and then plus it also makes it look cooler having, like, the shredded up costume, having the cape kind of in rags, you know, that whole, like, Death of Superman kinda look. It's like, they've been to battle, that they were, like, beating on each other, so having some of that kinda here. Having the costume tears just kinda makes you realize that these guys have been pounding on each other and that Cyberfrog can kick the crap out of them. That happens. You don't win everything. And, yeah, just being able to come in and erase that line so that I can add this kinda just makes it so much easier than having to go back and do anything like that. If I was using regular pen and ink, some tears in the costume there, and, yeah, I'm gonna have the cape kinda shredded and torn in the wind from the battle there. So, there we go. Where we're at right now. Got some background stuff, finished the torso, put in the details on Cyberfrog here, but, we're off to a good start anyways here. I'll be working on it this afternoon. 11 people watching now. Thanks. Thank you guys for stopping in. But it's almost noon here, so, this is a good start. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I think I'm gonna go grab some lunch here, but, yeah, I definitely plan on doing more of this. Sign up for the subscription, so when I post new videos, you'll get a notification and you can swing by and check it out. I'm gonna be doing, more live drawing like this, that live inking and stuff. I think that's a good way to get started, and probably have some more guests on too. I know there's a lot of comics gators out there that have campaigns running, who I'm friends with, so have them on to come and talk about their campaign and, do more stuff like that, so, yeah, 82 minutes, so, yeah, that's over an hour, so I've been on for that's pretty good. That was better than I thought I'd do. Thank you guys for showing up, Bud, GJ, Phantasmagorical, Randy was in here earlier, but, yeah, everybody have a great weekend, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for showing up. If you see me post on Twitter, you know, say hi. Oh, yeah, Art Vandal. So you want to be my latex salesman. But yeah, thanks for showing up. Enjoy the rest of you guys' Sunday. I'll be posting this artwork on Twitter once I have it finished, so keep an eye out for that. You can kind of see how it started, and then you see the finished product. And yep, I'll be promoting Superiors. So if you see me posting, man, I appreciate when you can retweet my stuff and get the word out even more. It's a huge help. So Titan is Darren in here. Darren, you're late, man. This is just a fan piece, Darren. This won't be in the campaign or the books because obviously Cyberfrog is Ethan Van Sciver's character, but this is just a fun fan art that I want to post online. So Titan versus Cyberfrog, just having a little bit of fun. Oh, so you went to church? Yeah, I suppose there's probably a lot of people at church this morning. So. No, you probably needed some church there, knowing you. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up and grab some lunch here. Thank you guys for swinging by. Have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you later and see you online. So, check out here. I remember how to shut this off. Peace.